Yes, sir. Have a question.
Any future president have the ability to give up the unitary power that Bush has accumulated in the past 8 years? And will the Congress ever be able to take anything back?
Did y'all hear the question? Will any future president be able to, or I guess you could have said want to, give up the unitary power that Bush has accumulated, and will the Congress take it back? I suffer from being a constitutional law professor. I teach an advanced course on constitutional law every Saturday morning for the past 18 years on separation of powers. And when I talk to my students, and you ain't my students obviously, but when I talk to my students and trying to set out this division of power, I talk about something that Professor Corwin once said. He said the Constitution issues an invitation to the Congress and the executive branch to compete for the conduct of policy, particularly foreign policy. Sometimes there have been five, I won't go through it, but there have been 5 periods in our history where that power has swung massively one way or another. This power is going to swing back in a big way because the abuse has been so awesomely outstanding on the part of this administration. I believe that Cheney, I believe the House of Representatives could, if it chose, find reasonable grounds to bring articles of impeachment. I believe that there is, I believe if you take a look at how, you know, one of the most interesting jurists was Oliver Wendell Holmes. And he had a great line, which I often quote. He said that prejudice is like the pupil of the eye. The more light you shine upon it, the more tightly it closes. Prejudice is like the pupil of the eye. The more light you shine upon it, the more tightly it closes. This administration's notion of abuse is in inverse proportion to the exposure of the abuse. The more they abuse power, and as pointed out, the more they're inclined to abuse it again. Look what he did today with Scooter Libby. He commuted the sentence. He commuted the sentence. Now, you know, that is what you might call tone deaf or brain dead. One of the two. Because seriously, think about it. Here, when the world's going to hell in a handbasket, when our leadership around the world is literally on the balls of its heels, instead of engaging in any uniting effort to bring the country together, what does he do? Takes one of the most controversial political stands he could do to enrage the country. This is an administration beyond redemption, in my view. I really mean it. Not a joke. I've been there for 7 presidents. Nobody. I was there 29 years old when Richard Nixon got elected. Okay, that's how old I am. I just turned 64. I am 64, I should say. And folks, this guy's worse. This guy's worse. So we're going to go through a very difficult period. But I think in order to get elected president of the United States, the American public is going to demand of both the Democrat as well as a Republican nominee that he shed or she shed that authority. That's the basis upon which I think things will change. That's my view. Yes.